Okay, so good day, grade 8 students. So this is very special because this video lesson is for my grade 9 A and D since hindi ko kayo makikita. I mean, hindi ko kayo nakita within 2 weeks. So we need to do something and you know, a video lesson will help you to understand our lesson or the things that we have to do for our performance task number 1. Yeah, with the collaboration of the mathematics and the English, sorry, hindi pala English, TLE subjects. So, hindi ko na ulitin ito. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the medieval art. So basically, if you still remember the lesson that you have on your music class, okay, if you still remember the Google I suppose I supposedly to say Gregorian chant, okay? So yung Gregorian chant, mga secular something with that. And kapag sinabi natin medieval art, this is all about knights, this is all about kings and queens, castle, and dragons. But it doesn't have to do with it. It's just those things are heavily associated with the term medieval. But to tell you that hindi siya realistically embedded in the history during the medieval times. Or tinatawag din kasi nila to Middle Ages or Dark Ages, wherein they according to the critics or mga early people like those times na there are no innovations happen in this era. But to tell you, napakalaking contribution ng kung anong klaseng perspective in the art during the medieval period. Okay? So, ayun yung ating topic for today. Since remember that that the medieval art is that the influence, okay? The influence here is all about religion, okay? Or let's just say the Roman Catholicism, wherein they wanted to spread the Christian teachings or the Christianity, not just in the entire Europe, but also um, the whole world. Okay? So bago pa tayo naging Christians or bago tayo naging ganap na Katoliko, grade 9 students, or for some for those who are not not Catholics, but the history, hindi tayo magiging mga deboto or Katoliko kung hindi tayo na nabigyan ng pagkakataon na ma-invade. Ma-invade? Hindi naman. Let's just say the influence or the beliefs that we have right now. Okay? So, dito nagsimula yan. Alright. So, anyway, yung pinakamalaking contributions ng medieval art dito is what they call the illuminated manuscript. Okay? So, Miss, ano yung illuminated manuscript? Ayan na ipapagawa ko sa inyo later on. So, basically, the manuscript is just text, di ba? And then there is an image or illustration of what is being written. Okay? So, ito po ay ginamit ng panahon ng medieval times because, of course, if you still remember the Gregorian chant sang like do, re, men, mga ganyan. So, how will you teach that or how are you going to teach it to many people kung wala kayong copies or you don't have any things that you can memorize that song? So, manuscript is a very big contribution in order to spread the Christianity. Okay? So, ano ba itsura ng illuminated manuscript? So, basically, yung mga monks, okay? Ang mga monks ng panahon na ito, class, alam niyo po ba, actually, there are no printing press during this time and they are doing this by their own hand. So, it is very handmade and well crafted, and they also add gold or even jewelries in the design. So as you can see here, makikita ninyo na laser pointer. Okay, so ito nakikita ninyo, this illustration, this illustration reflects to what you see in the other side of the page. Okay, so kung iisipin niyo yung mga books, okay? Hindi natin yan mare-retrieve or hindi natin yan maiintindihan or itong mga Bible kung wala itong mga manuscript. Okay? Yan po ang isa sa mga contributions ng panahon ng medieval period. Okay? Again, these handcrafted books made by the monks has a material ng gold or jewelries. Okay? So more likely, of course, hindi na masyadong valuable ito and sabihin na natin na napaka hirap na makakita ng buong manuscript na merong intricate designs ng gold and some other forms of jewels. Okay? So ano yung mga examples na like this one? Yung mga characteristics and more likely may makikita ang enlarged text. Okay? So you can see dito. Di ba kahit sa mga libro, like yung mga books na, pocket books na pinipili ninyo, yung pinakaunang page doon and then the first letter in the text ay enlarged. Okay? Sa illuminated manuscript, yan ay heavily designed, heavily decorated. Not just the text, okay? Of course, yung illustration and the borderline o yung background. Ito, yung nakikita nyo dito. Yan. So, this background you see here, okay? Again po, yan po ay ginawa handmade. It is not printed. Okay? So, same with the music sheets nung panahon. Kasi again, wala pa yan. So, lately na nagkaroon ng mga copied chants, okay? Para syempre, maituro pa yung mga Gregorian chant na yan. So, they create a manuscript wherein ito nakikita ninyo is an example of a music piece po ng isang a piece of Gregorian chant. And then yung Gregorian chant na nakikita nyo dyan, may illustration, right? So there is a patron saint na reflected doon sa manuscript na yan. Okay? So that is the illuminated manuscript. All right. So other than the themes or styles na meron sa medieval period, again, the purpose here is more on to spread this Christianism or the Roman Catholicism. So they need to make sure para ma-spread yan, they need some structures wherein they can welcome churchgoers. Okay? So nung panahon na ito, they have to build churches, monasteries. Okay? So, syempre, para makater nila yung mga pilgrimage. Okay? So, there are three arts during this period. So, meron po tinatawag na Byzantine art, Romanesque art, and the Gothic art. So, the first one is the Byzantine art. Basically, ito mga ano na to na, you know, architecture, there is what they call Greek cross plan. Applicable pa rin to until now. And ito po ay isa sa mga na-adapt natin sa classical period or during the ancient Greeks and Romans. Okay? So, syempre, hindi na yung katulad ng Parthenon. Ito, they must build something has to do with yung, you know, the structure must be decorated with stained glass windows, mosaics. Itong mga mosaics or itong mga murals ay may mga forms of religious images or religious figures. Okay? So, dito sa Byzantine architecture, ang makikita natin dito, mga mga painted murals ng mga religious figures. And then, something with the Byzantine architecture, ito yung pinaka-ano sa kanya. Ang structure niya, aside from having a cross plan, okay, the church here is dome-like structure. So yung nakikita nyo dyan, di ba yung sa Romans, kasi di ba yung Colosseum nila, it's outdoor. But here, in the example, which is the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, Turkey, ito po ay, of course, it's enclosed structure. And by the way, ito pong mga nakikita nyo, 4 towers dyan, wala pa yan before. Yung initial structure ng Hagia Sophia. Kumbaga, for the following years na lang siya, kumbaga, dinagdagan pa ng mga iba't ibang structure sa paligid niya. So, kala nyo para mga dome na, baby domes, right? Or mga towers. And then, ito pong Hagia Sophia, again po, this is constructed to be a Catholic church. However, yung popularity ng Christianism sa Istanbul, Turkey or sa Turkey ay nag-decline. So, napalitan itong Hagia Sophia became naging ano siya, mosque because mas mataas ang population ng mga Muslim dito sa Istanbul, Turkey. And now, until now, the Turkey is considered as a Muslim country. So, ito po ay naging mosque. But today, today's generation, this is now a museum. Okay, so let's look at the uh, interior of this Hagia Sophia. So again po, sinabi ko sa inyo earlier that the most of the murals or the walls here is made with gold. So mapapansin nyo dyan, ito po yung mga ceilings niya, okay? And they use vivid colors or bright colors for paintings. So mga examples ng paintings dito, just like this one. So of course, the subjects in the painted murals are the religious figures. Okay? So, in terms of how they represented or portray human figures, okay? So, slightly ano siya, 2D figures. Okay? So, ganyan yung mga itsura niyan. Itong nakikita ninyo, this is also inside of the Hagia Sophia. Alright? So, ayan ang itsura niya. Aside from the painted murals, meron po yan itong mga bato or tinatawag na mosaic. You have to put one by one stones or glass like this one. Okay? So, aside from the painted murals, yung mga gatong klaseng mosaic naman ay, again, they also use gold or, mga gold-like colors po na as their background. Okay? So, of course, kapag ganito intricate ang kanilang decorations for, of course, the purpose is, syempre, para magkaroon na, ma-cater or magkaroon ng interest to go inside of the church. Okay? So, yan ang Byzantine art or the Byzantine architecture and paintings. Next one is the Romanesque art. So, around the 6th and 12th century, ang Romanesque art, adapted siya with the Roman motifs wherein yung mga, di ba, colosseums, right? Or dome-like structures. However, for the Romanesque, they wanted to adapt the Roman, the art or the dome-like structure, but in the interior designs ng mga churches na kanilang itinayo, just like this one. So this is the Saint Sermine Cathedral in France. So ito po yung kanyang exterior design wherein you could see here na hindi naman siya dome-like structure unlike doon sa Hagia Sophia. However, when you go inside, you could see that the dome-like structure here support as a roof. Okay? And ang makikita niyo na rin dito yung mga columns din or yung usually kasi ang mga simbahan ng medieval period ay paint sa marble o mga stones or even steel, bakal. Okay? So ganito ang itsura ng mga simbahan, Romanesque church. Okay? So, yung mga paintings or murals naman sa loob ng simbahan, iba naman ito. Okay? Kasi sa kanila, meron silang, if you still remember the illuminated manuscript, so yung kanilang symbols of painting of religious figures, it's actually the same as what you see in the slide. Okay, so again, they still use bright colors. However, they use very strong outlines para mas ma-emphasize yung illustration doon kanilang murals. Kasi sa fresco, it's a water-based painting, it gets faded, di ba? However, this one, it's a sort of, not just a water-based, it's actually a pigmented that they add egg yolk to it para it will easily dry. Ganon siya. So, kaya parang mas ano pa siya, mas yun na-preserve pa yung kulay niya. Okay? So, ayan ang itsura. Alright? So, that is the paintings also during the medieval period sa mga Romanesque architectures. Okay? So, tingin yung itsura nito, it's very well decorated. I mean, yung design niya ay murals. So, by the way, this is in a church in Barcelona, Spain. So, Yan, kung familiar din kayo sa mga columns, right? So again, di ba, they also use yung mga ancient classical columns, di ba? Yan, so this is a Corinthian column. And last but not the least is the Gothic art. So yung Gothic art, nako, kung nakapunta na kayo ng San Sebastian, di ba? Yan, sa San Sebastian, pumunta kayo dyan, di ba? Pwede namang yung bibigay ko sa'yo example. Kasi itong Gothic naman, Gothic style churches, ito ay usually they are very thin, not very, I'm not saying na it's very thin, but it looks thinner and with higher walls. Tapos may mga pointed towers or pointed structures. So what you see here. Okay? So, yung ganitong klaseng style, sinasabi nila kanina, di ba, or I mentioned earlier na yung misconception na there's no innovations or discoveries ng panahon nito. But imagine this that this is very decorated compared to the structures during the classical period. Okay? Napakalayo na ng ng in terms of if we consider the style of the structure, napakalayo na, right? Diba? So, ito yung mga examples ng mga Gothic style churches ng panahon na yan. So this is the Notre Dame Cathedral in France. Okay? So kung mapapansin nyo, this is, of course, yan ay built with steel. Okay? Yan po, ipakal. And, tingnan ninyo, karamihan po ang mga bintana rito ay meron po stained glass window. So, yung nakikita nyo po rito sa harapan, sa labas, na may mga bilog, ito po nasa gitna. Okay? Ito po siya sa loob. So, di ba, ang ganda ng reflection niya kapag nasa loob kayo. So, ayan po yung mga madalas na that is one of the major characteristics ng Gothic style churches. Aside from having, pointed structures. Okay? Another example here is the Chartres Cathedrals sa France pa rin. So, again, napakarami stained glass window. Ayan. So, may pointed, rin siya, pointed structure. And this one. So, ito naman po ay the Westminster Abbey in London, England, or what they call the Royal Church, where the royal family is being married. Okay, then sila Kate Middleton. Ayan, so dito yan. Again, yan ay structured with steel. Okay, so pahaba. And ayan, so stained glass. So more likely, what would be the subjects that you could see in the stained glass window? Of course, religious figures. Okay? Like yung mga patron saints or even mga sub-scenarios from the Bible na kung saan ay in-illustrate nila through these windows. Okay? May mga nakita na ba kayong mga ganyan? So, ayan, better to look. Okay naman, if you try to visit the San Sebastian Church, may ganito rin sila. Okay? So, kung wala tayong questions, so we're going to proceed to our performance task. Okay? So, yung performance task natin, ano mangyayari? So, I hope that your mathematics teacher and your TLE teacher talk about this. So, we are going to have a collaborated performance task and you're going to do an illuminated manuscript. Okay? So, Miss, paano namin gagawin? Yeah, are we going to do the same what you presented earlier? Yes. But in your with a twist. Okay? So, lalagyan natin to ng mathematical side, okay? Para at least, 'di ba? So, ang gagawin niyo, you're going to choose, ito yung sample lang yan. So, 'di ba? Again, ano ba yung structure ng manuscript? Meron pong text, may borderline, and there is an illustration. So, ito yung example niya. Okay? So, kayo, ang twist dito, you're going to choose a Bible verse or a fable, your favorite fable, and then you're going to turn it into na illuminated manuscript. So, as what you see here, yan na magiging itsura niya. Kunwari, ayan. So, next one naman, so, syempre, baka naibigay na sa inyo required borderline for this kasi you're going to draw the illuminated manuscript in Oslo paper. Okay? So, gawin nyo muna itong borderline before you create your own illuminated manuscript. Next one, so as you can see here, di ba, meron siyang borderlines. So, the borderlines helps you to decorate your illuminated manuscript. But you're going to use quadrilateral shapes. So yung mga quadrilateral shapes, ano ba yan? Square, di ba? Mga trapezoid, ewan ko kung ano mang klaseng quadrilateral shapes ang pwede nyo ilagay dito. And then, try to put some decorations on those shapes para mag-come up siya ng ganitong itsura. Okay, so you could add some leafy or flower, fruits, animals, whatever symbols you want. Basta ito ang importante, huwag niyong kakalimutan. Okay, manuscript or the text. Hindi ko naman nire-require na kailangan maganda ang iyong text na halimbawa kailangan Gothic, no, no need. Kung magaling ka mag-Gothic, kung mag-create ng calligraphy, that's good for you. However, I will consider that you could write, make sure that you're going to write illegibly. Okay? So, mag-ano kayo, mga, tawag ito, mga stylized text ang gawin niyo. And then, so, mag-ano na lang kayo, outline para, kasi kailangan dito pantayan. Okay? Katulad na nakikita niyo dyan kanina, di ba? Ayan. So, it must be outlined. Okay? Para hindi kayo magkamali. And then, last but not the least, doon sa ilalagay, halimbawa ilalagay nyo ritong text ay time is gold. So yung letter T doon, yung pinakaunang letter po doon sa text ay kailangan it must be enlarged. So yung first letter, ide-decorate nyo siya, just like you see here in the example. And then, of course, yung text na yun, o kung ano yung napili ninyong Bible verse, you're going to draw or illustrate something regarding with that text or yung napili ninyong Bible verse. So halimbawa, tawag dito, yung time is gold, yung ginawa ninyo, edi mag-drawing kayo dito sa kung saang part ng inyong OSTA paper bagay na lalagyan ng drawing or ng logo, di ba? So, halimbawa, ito yung example kasi saint siya. So, ayan, dyan, ayan yung ayan yung illustrations, no text. Okay? So, ayan po ang inyong gagawin. Again, the borderline or the required borderline is from the PLE subject. Tapos yung borderline na decorations nyo, it must be quadrilateral shapes. That is a requirement from you for your math subject. And then sa akin naman yung design. Okay? So, ayan inyong gagawing illuminated manuscript. So, yung ating rubric, of course, the rubric, it must be created. You're the use of the art elements here, just like the colors, the patterns you use. So, the application, it must be, good or very exceptional to say. Yeah, para intricate o kaya naman extravagant tingnan yung inyong illuminated manuscript. And then last but not the least is the understanding, achievement, and the completion of the manuscript. So, yung instructions ninyo, of course, di ba, may inilagay po ako sa inyong Google Classroom na submission details or how you're going to submit the illuminated manuscript. Okay, so the deadline for this activity will be on March 12, 2022, 11:59 p.m. That is on Saturday next week. Okay, so ayan ang ating performance task, and I hope, so if you have some questions or if you have personal concerns with this performance task, just inform me or leave me a message through Google Chats or leave me an email. Okay, so that's all today, and thank you and see you on our next session. Bye po! Bye!